India launched Operation Sindoor in response to Pakistan-sponsored terror attack in Pahalgam. Another neighbor of Pakistan, which has also been affected by Pakistan sponsored terrorism, is Afghanistan. And a person who has seen it firsthand has joined me here on my channel, Just In by Annu. Mariam Solaimankhil is an Afghan MP in exile. She left Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover of the country. Hello, Mariam. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, Anu. Thank you for having me.
So, Mariam, I'll start by asking you, since a very long time, you have been raising your voice against the Pakistan army and the ISI's sponsorship of terrorism. Can you tell us more about that?
Um, Thank you for asking. It's been over a decade that I've been a vocal activist. After seeing firsthand that the Pakistani's military establishment and their intelligence wing, the ISI, has not just been complicit in terrorism, but they've been the architects of terrorism. From Lashkar-e-Taiba to Osama bin Laden to the Taliban to the Haqqani network to Jaish Mohammed, they've brought a lot of destabilization within the region, and they're the founders of an ideology, a sect of Islam that's cancerous to the entire world, and not just our region, but the entire Islamic world and the Western world.
Now,
So I've been pretty vocal about it for over 10 years now.
Mariam, you have also been vocal about the Baloch and Pashtun movements in Pakistan. You have even warned that Pakistan is a country waiting to implode. Can you share more on that?
Well, the Pashtun and the Baloch resistance groups, they're peaceful resistance groups. These are people who want their dignity. They want autonomy. They want to have a say on their natural resources, and they get abducted. They get killed. They go missing. They're living under a colonial framework, and they've lost every ounce of sovereignty that they could have had. At this point, it's not even a question of if Pakistan is going to implode. It's when it's going to implode. Reason being that it's not a nation state. It's a military with a country.
Now, how do you see India's response to Pakistan-backed terrorism with regard to Operation Sindoor?
I think that India has made one of the most morally wise moves in history after going after Pakistan for what they did. They showed Pakistan that you cannot touch a sovereign nation and harbor for decades and exist. They drew the line across the sand. They've been bleeding Afghanistan dry, destabilizing Afghanistan. They've been fostering terrorists to come and destabilize and murder young Indian people and Afghans for decades. And it was amazing to see India strike so precisely and strategically that it really struck fear into Pakistan's heart. And the whole world, you could see, was standing on India's side. They can clearly see where terrorism stems from. And it's Pakistan, it's clear.
Now, Pakistan has time and again resorted to nuclear blackmailing. Do you think it's time for the international community to take steps to denuclearize Pakistan?
Well, nuclear power, we have to remember, has been used for deterrence, but we're seeing that Pakistan is using it to shield terrorism. And then at times they're also using it as blackmail against the entire world. Every time that anyone in the world questions a Pakistani policy or comes on a little hard towards Pakistan about what they've been doing, they threaten the world with nuclear annihilation. So the fact that the world is allowing it to go for this long, it's shocking and surprising. And I think the time has come where the world needs to seriously sit down and discuss what's to happen next. Because if they don't, very soon those same powers that Pakistan has been empowering and weaponizing for decades, they're going to be the ones holding the nuclear weapons.
You have cautioned Turkey against arming Pakistan, calling it self sabotage. Can you elaborate on that?
I think it was a huge policy mistake by Ankara for standing with Pakistan at this time. The idea that Pakistan has the best interests of any Islamic country in the world, Afghanistan is an example. Uh, Now we have a regime in Afghanistan that's saying that they are the leaders of the Islamic world, and there is no other Islamic country other than them on this planet. Once this is empowered the way it has been, and Pakistan is behind this entire ideology, to think that Ankara is not in danger of having these same extremists come around and start standing up against their leadership and saying that, you're not a real Islamic nation. The real Islamic nation are people like the Taliban, people like Lashkar-e-Taiba, people like Jaish Mohammed, people who believed in the same things that Osama bin Laden believed in. They're going to come into Turkey and they're going to cause disruption over there. Women's rights, the way that they were robbed in Afghanistan, it could be as easily robbed in the United Arab Emirates, in Qatar, in Saudi, and as well as Ankara. So the ideology that comes out of Pakistan is extremely dangerous, and the world needs to take it more seriously because it's not going to stay within the region of Afghanistan, Pakistan, Central Asia, and India. It's going to spread further, and this is the time that it needs to end, or we're going to see serious global implications.
Now, how do you see China's role in the recent India-Pakistan flare-up?
China would love to destabilize India, especially economically. That's their entire goal. I can actually understand why they're doing it, and it's terrifying not just for the region, for the entire Western world. Right now, while India is one of the best economic partners in the world, China wants to destabilize it. A place where people can make their technology, make their clothing, make all of their sales coming from India, a business hub for the world where tech giants are coming out of India. They see it as a competition. So I really think the whole world is invested in this, and the success of India is great. But also, we have to remember the main backer behind Pakistan is China, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. And this is where we should keep them. We should push them back and not allow them to go any further from this.
Now, Mariam, Pakistan has been expelling hundreds and thousands of Afghanistan refugees from Afghanistan, but there seems to be a global silence on that. What is your take on this?
I think it's one of the most embarrassing human rights crises that's happening in our lifetime. Millions of Afghans, some of them were born there and have never seen Afghanistan, being beaten, being humiliated, being thrown at the border with nothing, being robbed before they're being thrown at the border uh, into the Taliban regime. Little girls who have studied, women who have studied, men who want to be able to dream of having a freedom of speech or educating their daughter. They're being forced back into Afghanistan. And within that, the most dangerous point is that there is no real mechanism to reintegrate those Afghans back into Afghanistan. We don't know who's coming in. This is an opportunity for Pakistan to wash themselves, clear themselves of many terrorists and many terrorist organizations. So then again, they can say, oh, the terrorists are in Afghanistan, they're not in Pakistan. But we know where they are. We know that peaceful protesters like Mahrang Baloch and Ali Wazir are in prison today. I think in the last 2 days, 35 Baloch youth have been abducted from their homes, and they're missing right now. Peaceful protesters, they're missing. But then we're watching the ISI and the Pakistani military standing behind Lashkar-e-Taiba's leadership in funerals and mourning them while laying the Pakistani flag on top of their caskets. So it's the Afghanistan refugee crisis is also extremely dangerous, and the silence of the world is complicity. That's all I can say.
That'll be all. Mariam, thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thank you for having me, Anu.